passed by multiple cars, as I mentioned earlier on, so Nuoff in a very precarious situation, but he often finds himself in these places. He doesn't qualify as well as he races.
Up front, they are getting with Lee Aberdeen and Luca Varani, not very far apart at all here. But I just want to see how Alistair Haig deals with Marcello Kessler coming around the old hairpin.
I would say it's not the best decision they've ever made, just not having done that under the safety car, really.
Yeah, they're taking their pit stop strategies from Ferrari lately or something. What's going on?
In turn one, just too much gas on them, too much feet on the loud pedal, and unfortunately he's dropped all the way down the order. But Philip Hammer is out in front by an 8.91 seconds. Dan Michael is a wall there, sir. And definitely doesn't want to be hitting that earlier on as well.
Difficult, the understeer is in the dirty air through that final corner because it's such a long corner and you get dragged off into the grass very easily. He'll have the slipstream down towards the chicane. Peterson was briefly alongside, but that slipstream has saved him and kept him in third.
Yeah, Varani now lost a little bit of time to Aberdeen, about half a second. Peterson is Pike's pushed Morton forward up ahead. He's got out of line. It's now Pike could have a go at Werrell. Don't push him off. He's in the championship fight. Jack Werrell chasing down Carl Jacklin. Further down, Rob Williams and Chris Barnes.
Sensational run outside line now though for the heavy braking zone. Around the outside goes the Audi R8.
Look how much Miller's come back into play. Exactly. Miller's still such up. He's left on second and change. All of a sudden Miller's back in play.
On to the back end of Phil Jocelyn, so there's been a lot of movers and shakers in this first 2 laps here for race.
Absolutely serious racing league. Everybody's a lot of fun. Yeah, it's all about the entertainment. So I hope everybody is enjoying themselves out there in the chat. We know that Ron is been enjoying himself watching the Burger King machines off into the grass a little bit there as they're really bunching up now.
Standing out from the crowd is a challenge. You have the passion, courage, and ambition to do something extraordinary. You have an awesome story to tell and a wonderful vision to share with the world. At Eddie Videos, we take that vision and turn it into reality so you can be heard above the rest. You need something different, and we give you the ultimate advantage. We can help you transform your ideas, images, and clips into a professional video that brings your message to life and sets a new bar for excellence. Visuals, voiceovers, editing, animations, whatever you need, we've got it all. If you're a new business looking to make your mark or an experienced company searching for something new and amazing, we're here to help. Trust us to take your video to amazing levels of awesomeness.
Does he have it? Medeiros is going to get it. They're going to toss it. They haven't got it.
He's on the outside line though, going into the fastest corner on the circuit. Surely this can't work.
Dominic Ligner has got a sensational run outside line now though for the heavy braking zone. Around the outside goes the Audi R8.
Look how much Miller's caught back into play. Exactly. Miller's still such trouble. He's touched on second and change. All of a sudden, Miller's back in play.
Can Barry do it? Big Barry's going to do it. Big Barry! Good evening and welcome back to Tuesday night to the UK SimRacers MX5 round 2 live from Okayama International Circuit. I am James Parfitt. I'm going to be joined once more in the booth by Mr. Zach Sweeney, who will be here alongside me once more for some epic racing. 4 heats of 15 minutes plus a top 8 reverse for heat 2 and a absolutely epic series here. Currently in the standings, in the pros, it is PVG out in front with 153, with Tom Griffiths 10 behind on 143, Steve Efford on 134, then Miles Owens on 131, John Sylvester and Jamie Ayres tied on 125, with V1 Bramer on 123, 1 point ahead of Daniel Hunt on 122, with Pete Newman on 86, Ralph Cullen and Carl Jacklett, Kellerman, Main, Sampson and McLean have all got to get points on the board. In the AMs, it is Darryl Wright out in front on 126 with Arnaud Chagnonier on 121. Dale Benison on 99 with Roger Morton 89, Jason Haddington 88, Andy Littler 87, Dan Lewis in 7th on 26, Alan Toon and Mick Barry tied on 22 with Jordan Syrett, Steve Hansford and Anthony Jacobson. No points on the board. In the team championship, it is Momo out in front on 412 with SOB on 379. Safeguard by result on 215. Air Smart Racing on 209. Workguard by result on 208. DOF Reality on 122. Results Clothing Eye Racing Team on 22 with Optical Red, Green, Pure Sims and Name apparently. It's very nice as that is here as well. Now, don't forget as well, we've also got the Commentators Championship currently at the moment. You can see I am out in front on 533 with Zach on 319. Now, you've heard me waffle on long enough. Let's bring Zach into the booth. Good evening, Mr. Sweeney. How are you, sir?
Worse than I've seen the commentator standings, I'll put it that way. Yeah, last week didn't go too well for me. To be fair, we were... in all fairness, the predictions weren't that bad until we got to race 4, and I thought, you know what, sod this, I'm gonna whack on Sir Alan Toon. You know, basically, 2-1 odds, same thing, right? He's good chance of winning. Unfortunately, Sir Alan Toon did not deliver a race 4 at Mosport, so I have been left a little bit behind. But it does just mean I'm going to have to step up Okayama, and better yet, the people that I vote for are going to have to step up. So, in all fairness, it is their fault, not mine.
Well, would you like to tell them that it's not their fault, Mr. Sweeney? Because at the end of the day, it's quite it's down to you to pick them.
Yeah, and it's down to them to drive faster. So, you know what, I'll have some very choice words with some people if they don't deliver in terms of the championship standings, because I'm not losing to you by the end of the season. Then again, we are only a 12th of the way through, only 4 races of 48, so plenty of time for me to get back into things. I'm just giving you a bit of a head start, James, making you feel a bit better about yourself. I know you need it, so we'll see how the season develops.
Okay, well, don't forget, obviously we were going to the rule of one drive. It can't be picking the same driver for all 4 heats. As you found out, you lose points on that one.
Yeah, but then again, we didn't actually establish that rule until race 3 of Mosport. Oh no, it was race 4 actually, because I'd gone for Pete Newman twice. And then someone in the chat said, you can't pick the same driver. We need to establish rules, okay? There are rules in place. Rules are made for systems, and it's how things don't come crumbling down. So yeah, we need to. We've established the ground rules now. So now I'm on top of things. Then we'll get moving.
Right. Okay. So the rules are not the same person twice. Okay. Straightforward. So you have to pick a different person every heat. So there we go. That's basically the only rule you need to know. And we'll add the points up, and whoever is ahead by the end of the season wins, basically. The other one has to, I don't know, I'll come up with some prize or something, or some forfeit, Zach.
Oh yeah, forfeit for the loser or prize for the winner. That's the question. Yeah. It should probably just be public shame, shouldn't it? Coming out on a broadcast and saying that you lost.
No, I don't think that's enough, to be honest. Don't think that's enough.
It's going to be your bed by the time we get there.
Yeah, oh, well, we'll see. Good evening, PVG. Good evening, Martin Sampson, Chris Needham. Evening, guys. Good luck to Arnold and Jason, as always. Hope it's a great evening for everyone. And Phil, of course, welcome in. I hope you are well here as well. Of course, Phil was joining in with the little competition last week and kind of gave you a little bit of grief there, Zach. I'm not going to lie. We've got about 1:35 on the clock before we get into qualifying. And we've got 22 cars on track here as well, with Alan Toon, Roger Morton, McLean, Cyrus Hansford and Benison all on the track. Kellerman is here, Chagnon, Cullinan is here this week. Welcome in, Mr. Graf Cullinan. Tom Griffiths, Jamie Ayres, Bramer, Van Gaal, Owen Sampson, Sylvester, Hepburn, Newman and Hunt. Hunt top in the sprint time in Towers in practice on a 1:43.539. But it's Okayama, Zach. Some have said this is quite a boring circuit, right? And I don't find it boring. I quite enjoy Okayama in general, especially this section here. Now, the only part of this I do not enjoy is this corner. I cannot get this corner right for love nor money. But what's your opinions of Okayama? Because, it's an interesting one, isn't it?
I like Okayama. I remember the week that the F4 machine on iRacing took to Okayama, and I couldn't get enough of it. I think, obviously, it's a vastly different car than we've got here with the MX5s, but it's a circuit that flows really well and caters quite nicely to smooth, consistent, and fast driving. Turn 1, braking, throwing the car in, balancing it on the front end through turn 2, the outward curve, the sort of the long hairpin as well. Very interesting corner because there are so many different lines that you can take, and some of them actually have different pros and cons as to the overall lap time, but they don't really make much of a difference to the overall lap time. You can keep it tight, you can come up wide, good overtaking opportunity as well. Then the hairpin, nice and banked, little bit of a dip down, and then that double left-hander I love when it comes to sort of downforce machinery. Maybe even so in these MX5s, because again, it is just all about keeping the weight on the front end and carrying that momentum through. Final sector's a little bit stop-start iffy, but I still enjoy it. I think Okayama's a fantastic circuit. Me and Callum had the Tanzos in the GR86s around Okayama on Sunday. and it was some phenomenal racing. And the MX5s aren't too dissimilar to the GR86s in terms of a race dynamic. You know, they're small, they're agile, not got a lot of downforce, not got a lot of power. Yes, they drive differently, but fundamentally they are a very similar car racing-wise. So, yeah, I think, love it or hate it, it's going to produce some good racing today.
Yeah, I think it will, and it's one that we're going to be, you know, as always, improved, I think, would be the terminology, because it has been some great racing, and last week at Motorsport was no different, to be honest. Phil there, just give Zach the forfeit now, he's going to lose.
Well, honestly, I get bullied in these YouTube chats.
Yeah, it's a bit harsh, isn't it? I'm picking you out as a loser already. But I suppose when Phil, you know, Phil knows, he knows. That's pretty much it.
Does he have a crystal ball in front of him? He's doing his voodoo.
You know, he's pretty much there, isn't he? You know, if you feel a back pain, it ain't certainly because you got a back pain. You know?
What?
When you get a back pain, it ain't because you actually got a back pain. You said voodoo. Voodoo doll, needle, back, pain. No, never mind.
No.
It's lost on your ability to be right, isn't it? Maybe on that one, but there we go.
I do what?
You know.
Why do I even turn up, James? What?
Because do you know why you turn up every single week?
You're going to say because I get paid to do it.
There is that, but also the fact that you actually enjoy doing it. It's not like it's a boring, must be serious broadcast all the time. You know, we have fun while we broadcast, which is what it is, and we entertain. You see, that's what all that matters.
We try to entertain. That's the difference.
Well, I entertain. I don't know about you.
Hang on about. Honestly.
See, that's why
the viewers, the clients must be so thrilled with the entertainment value.
They must be, because they keep coming us back every single season.
For whatever reason.
And we are now, what are we now? Good blimey, 6 seasons in, 5 seasons in with UkSimracers. So practically about a year and a little bit, to be honest, already. The same league. Well, there we go. JPBroadcasting is currently out in satin purples on the timing screen here as they're coming off now down through up the curve on that run up into the hairpin. However, Mr. Ayres is catching a nice little toe from Steve Hefford in front of him, and it's helping him along no end. I'm surprised he's not tucked into the left-hand side, to be honest, because I thought it might have been easier getting the draft a little bit more to the left. There we go, on the brakes he goes into the hairpin, and then drops down through Revolver and the Piper corner on the left there here once more at the circuit as well. Where are we expecting overtakes, Zach? What are we expecting here for the main? I don't, do you know what, actually, scrap that, right? Because I was going to ask where we expected overtakes. Now, the problem that we have is with these guys, overtakes can come anywhere. So, okay, let's put it this way. Where are we expecting flashpoints of this race? Where are we, if there was an incident, where would you pin it?
If there's an incident?
Yeah.
Oh, I want to say off the exit of well, actually, to be fair, no, I'm just pinging them off. We've got the final corner. Naturally, you're trying to carry as much speed through, so you could go wide and go into the gravel. You know, you don't have to be running side by side for that to happen. You can do that by yourself. Same too with turn 1 into 2. Again, turn 2, I think it's flat out in MX5s, but if you sort of turn in a bit too late, you might naturally run out wide, clip the grass, and around you go. Same to pretty much on the exit of most corners here, because it is very, very unforgiving. The second of the 2 infield left-handers, just off the back end of the hairpin, if you get them wrong, so fatal. So yeah, basically the whole track is a hazard. I know that's quite a cliche thing to say, but you have got to be careful at each and every single corner. In terms of overtaking incidents, if you go for a move through sort of the last 2 corners, it's very similar to the Red Bull ring. You nip your nose up the inside, chances are there is going to be contact of some form. But in terms of clean overtakes as well, you've got the hairpin, you've got turn 1 could be a good shout, Atwood could be a good shout on the back end of the circuit. So many good places this circuit has, so many spotlight corners, and in all fairness, I just think the whole track is pretty decent. So yeah, couple that with a very competitive grid of some very eager MX5 drivers, and well, we're in for a good one.
Now that's the thing, the word you put in there was eager, and there's going to be some very eager drivers coming out of the hairpin and down into that Revolver corner. Now my fear is here, if you are going to stick your nose up the inside of this corner, it could turn out to be disaster. Now, I'm not going to say that they can't run too wide through there, because as we've been proven many a time, that they easily can. My fear is taking that run down from the hairpin when you're dropping to that left-hander. Somebody gets a better exit, somebody can get squirrely or loose or whatever they're going to do at the same time. But they could end up causing themselves problems. And the thing is as well, with the late moves and trying to block that inside line off going round Revolver, it's going to leave that opportunity where somebody at some point is going to take a dive, I think. I can't tell you who or where or when or what or why, but somebody throughout these 4 heats is going to take a dive down into Revolver, and it isn't going to end well. And I just hope it's not one of the main protagonists within the championship or the main people within the championship. But then again, at the moment we're only on round 2, and currently the championship's wide open as to who's going to take it. Now, if you could put a pin, Zach, on who you could pick to be the winner, who would you pick right now? If you had somebody in mind for the season, who would you pick?
Is this counting towards the...
No.
Okay.
No.
All right. No, there's no pressure then. Alan too. No, I'm checking. I mean, Sylvester's impressive. Well, I'm not just saying that because he's at the top of the timesheets. I didn't even look at the timesheets. I'm just looking at the sheet as it stands, of entry list. Yeah, I think John Sylvester is a good shout. He's very, very quick. But then you've also got Griffiths, I think, off the back of the spring season that we have. Of course, for those of you that are new, we're running 3 championships within this year, the spring, the summer, and I'm assuming the autumn/winter season over the course of 2023. We've just concluded our spring series, and Tom Griffiths was a very, very good shout. Same to Daniel Hunt was the one that won it. John Sylvester, funnily enough, was a driver that was in the top 3 as well. Of course, we had Ayres, we had Van Gool, Hefford, Bramer, Owens, etc., who on a regular basis did compete, but it was those top 3 that mainly did really sort of hit the ground running with things. So I'm sort of copping out here because it could be any of the top 3 from last season: Hunt, Griffiths, Sylvester. That's going to be my choice. If I have to go with any of them, it's going to be Griffiths.
You've forgotten somebody.
Who have I? Oh, Pete Newman.
If he can stay consistent here every single race, right? I reckon Newman's in with a big old shot of taking this, and I wouldn't be surprised if he could still account his 2 seasons that he would do for this whole MX5. I reckon he's in with a shot of taking this, because I think he is so strong with it. He's such a good driver. He can come through the field like an absolute banshee, and I reckon that at the end of the day, he could be a good shot for it overall. To be honest, I think Pete is an unbelievable driver. I've seen him in many cars, MX5s, GR86. He does the Clios and the JPB as well. So there's a lot of things that Pete Newman can get his hands to, and he's just naturally quick in any of them. And that's the thing, for most people, we wouldn't expect somebody's jump from car to car to car, Zach, to be as quick as what they are. But Pete just buries it. He seems to have the cars hooked up under his foot, and he just does an absolutely stellar job. I would not be surprised if Newman is running up there, right up there at the end of this season. Even though currently, as we can see from the championship standings, he's sitting down in 15th on 86 points. He's only 67 back from the leaders, but as we know, that can change within an evening of racing.
It can. I do think Pete Newman actually is a really good shout. I mean, coming off the back of Mosport, he did get really, really unlucky. So as it stands, he sat in 15th, I think, in the overall championship. Yeah. Which is not telling of who he is as a driver. It doesn't do him justice at all. Mosport was so impressive from Pete Newman, and how he didn't win all 4 races, I think, is astonishing, because his pace was frighteningly quick. So yeah, over the course of the season, we'll wait and see what his pace is like, but he is a very good shout. Again, we'll have to wait and see how it develops. And then, of course, next season as a whole thing entirely, we'll wait for iRacing to release the schedule when we get to that point, and then we'll sort of judge what tracks are going to be where, who's going to be quick where as well, and things. But yeah, I think we are a little bit too early to judge the overall championship. It's more a novelty than anything, having the championship lead at this point. It's a nice thing to have. It's not going to mean a lot by the time we get to the final few rounds right now. But I think taking it at face value, taking it with what we know about everyone, how we've seen them fight, yeah, I can see Pete Newman definitely still being a very, very competitive shout. And, well, he's really is living up to that hype right now because he's not too far off pole position. Then again, most people aren't. It is incredibly close with only about 4/10 covering the sort of the top 6 drivers, and even beyond that, not much in it at all. Which I'll be honest is very, very surprising. Well, not necessarily surprising, but quite a good thing to have when it comes to a track like this, because it's a minute and 44 seconds, which already is a long lap. Alarm bells. It's a very technical circuit, which means there's more time to make time up. And yet we've still got times that are, within hundredths of a second with each other, which I think just says all you need to know about how competitive this grid is and how unpredictable it can be.
Yeah, I think that's the thing as well. Dan, he took me out in the Clio. I am joking. Yeah, I'm not. Yeah, that was last night. Mr. Mould did end up, unfortunately for Mr. Mould, he did have a bit of a poor race one in the Clio yesterday as well. And it was tough battling in the Clio. I'm not going to lie. If anybody hasn't watched the Clios, please go back and have a look, because there is some tough battling in there last night and some absolute unbelievable racing as well. So yeah, it was quite a tough evening last night for everyone in that Clio's. Fair but firm, young Zach. I think that's the terminology.
I suppose, yeah. Best way to be. As long as you're fair and consistent, who cares?
Mm.
If you're horrible to everyone, you can't be done for discrimination. So it's all good. What?
Is that how it works?
I'm just saying. You can't single people out if you hate everyone.
Right, okay. Well, there you go. Politically correct by Zach there. Mr. Littler, I am in Dublin tonight, so not round. Oh, as we watch Pete Newman, as I say, how well he does and goes and torpedoes the barrier. We are coming into the last 2.5 minutes of qualifying. And we're on board with Tom Griffiths, who's currently on a 144.32. There's only 3 men in the 143s. Dan Hunt, John Sylvester and Pete Newman, with Jamie Ayres, Steve Hefford, Pete Bengal, Martin Sampson, Tom Griffiths, Ralph Cullinan and Ewan Bramer rounding out the top 10. So yeah, even though we've got 22 cars, it is going to be some action-packed racing here once more from the UkSimracers, and I think this could be a barnstorming one, that run down into turn 1 as well, once they get off the grid. That's going to be interesting.
It's going to play quite well to who gets a good launch, because unlike circuits like Barcelona or not on iRacing, but say Sochi, for example, where you've got a long run all the way to the first braking zone, you can use slipstream to jostle and almost make up for a bad start. Here, it's all about dropping the clutch or letting go of the brake pedal, putting it into gear, whatever your method of starting the car is. It's about getting that, reacting well, building up the revs, building up the momentum, limiting the wheel spin, and actually getting a good run. Because the initial phase of the start, the bit that takes the most skill, accounts for a higher percentage of the total run into turn 1. Talking it from a bit of more of a mathematical perspective, it takes up a higher percentage and therefore means a lot more of the overall start procedure. So if you can react well, if you can control the clutch well and get the revs up nicely and build up speed nicely and get a good launch, chances are going to have a nice little look into the first corner, because you're not really slamming on the brakes much into turn number 1. It's quite a fast and flowing corner, particularly off the opening lap, so you can just put your foot down, probably just a lift maybe at best, to get your way through. So again, it's not like going to be a case of you out-braking someone into turn 1. Yep. It is going to be a case of you getting a good start, you pulling alongside, and you making the most of that very short run into turn 1. So yeah, it's going to play dividends to react well. So we'll wait and see who's got their energy levels turn up tonight.
Yeah, it was really weird, right? I was looking at that sticker that says hybrid on the back of Tom Griffiths there for a brief moment that we just seen, and at one point I actually thought it looked like a plug-in adapter for a charger, but it turns out it's actually a sign that says something constructive, so I'm wrong, but never mind. Onwards and upwards we go. 20 seconds remaining here of qualifying. Tom Griffiths still out in track. Miles Owens, Darren McLean is coming round the revolver and dropping down into Piper. He's not really going to get his lap time in. Neither is Miles Owens. Second place, John Sylvester, was close, but I don't think he's going to do it either. And that is going to be that for qualifying. And here is the grid for race one, sorry, with Dan Hunt in first, John Sylvester in second, Pete Newman third, Pete Van Gaal fourth, Jamie Ayres fifth, Steve Hefford in sixth, Martin Sampson seventh, Tom Griffiths eighth, Miles Owens ninth, Ralph Cullen in 10th with Ewan Bramer and Arnold Chagnon in 12th. Arnold Chagnon, the pole man in the AMS. Beyond that, we have got Darren McLean, Darrell Wright, Dale Bennison, Charles Kellerman, Steve Hansford, Roger Morton, Jordan Syret, Daniel Lewis in 20th. Sir Alan Toon and Jason Haddington round out the last grid spots here as well. But once more, it is going to be an exciting one. Once more into the breach we go. The gladiators will fight. They will start racing once we get Pete Newman onto the grid, and then it'll be that run down into turn one. Who's going to win, Dan? Zach, sorry.
Well, I don't know whether to be offended or flattered.
Yeah, just
I'm going to go with John Sylvester, purely because when I was writing down who I was going to predict, the pen just went with Sylvester. So here we go.
All right, John Sylvester, and I'm going to go with Pete Newman. Lights are on, 3, 4, 5. And we are underway. There's a big chug at the back from car number 84. That's Darrell Wright. He didn't go anywhere off the line. And it is Dan Hunt and Pete Newman. John Sylvester also did not go anywhere. And Sylvester and Newman are going to be running side by side. Round turn one, Newman's going to have the inside, of course, down into Williams. And he's going to be able to hold that line and push John Sylvester out. But Dan Hunt got an absolute barnstorming start there and did a stellar job. PVG battling away with John Sylvester on this run down into the upward curve. At the end is Pete Van Gaal on the right hand side in the Momo with white roll bars. Jamie Ayres is close beside as well with Tom Griffiths and also Martin Sampson sliding through. But everybody at the moment, Zach, by what I can see, have got away cleanly.
Yeah, indeed so. Not too bad from each and every single driver. Fantastic stuff up until this point. Of course, not a great start from John Sylvester. He's under pressure from PVG into the first major braking zone of the circuit. Tom Griffiths jostling for position with Martin Sampson. They go too wide through. You can see the blue car. That's Griffiths. He's on the outside and now into Revolver. Is James' prediction going to come too light? Continuing to go side by side. Gets given the space. Edged out ever so slightly does Martin Sampson. Griffiths stays ahead for now and a brilliant move between the two of them. Great respect.
Yeah, definitely managed to hold on to it as well, but that's got to be respected. If Miles Owens trying to go up the inside now of Martin Sampson. Owens side by side at the moment on the run up into Hobb. They're going to go round the right-hander. It's a long right-hander as well. You've got to wait an age to put the power on, and now you can do it as you come through the last two corners. Mike Knight and also last corner here at Okayama, and then you got that run down into turn one again. But Dan Hunt with Pete Newman. Hunt is already weaving. Newman's decided to stay where he is. He's got John Sylvester here beside him currently at the moment. I think Sylvester's going to take the inside for turn one here, Zach, and it looked like there was almost no challenge from Newman there.
No, not really. They continue to go side by side though. Sylvester trying to make up for his poor start. Continuing to go too wide. The Pure Sims driver, Pete Newman, has got that inside line. It gives him the advantage through a very fast corner. PVG eager to get into the mix as well. As nose to tail, Newman versus Sylvester. Who's going to be coming out on top in this exchange? Sylvester now, however, stuck between a rock and a hard place because the pressure from PVG behind, coupled with the fact that he's trying to put pressure onto Newman, is a very sticky situation indeed. And meanwhile, all this is doing is allowing Daniel Hunt to get the jump and run ahead.
Yeah, it definitely is. Sylvester still tucked up behind Newman. Newman's heading to the inside. He's going to follow Hunt across the track. He needs as much as the drive as he can. The gap's come down to nearly a second into the hairpin. Sylvester there as well. Effort makes that move up on the inside. We've got Ralph Cullen trying to get up one of the SOB boys. That's Ewan Bramer. Jordan Syret further down, and Sir Alan Toon still hanging on at the bottom there. What happened to Roger Morton? Well, this happened to Roger Morton going down into turn one. Unfortunately for him, he looks like he missed his break-in, got in deep, and there, oh no, he was helped by Mr. Steve Hansford. Helped him off track there, but yeah, that's not an ideal situation there for Morton as he's been helped off the circuit.
Yeah, not pretty to say the least, and it's always a risk you carry when you race full stop. But yeah, unfortunately Morton getting the worst end of it. Dan Hunt making a bit of a mistake through the very well named last corner, and Dan Hunt still controlling the lead. It's not a major mistake, just one that maybe could influence his confidence through the final corner a little bit as the race develops. What is crucial though is that this 3-car train behind Newman does sort of get their act together ever so slightly, as PVG with a fantastic run out of turn 1 looks to maybe put some pressure on Sylvester through 2, tries to get the up and under, now is getting a good old sight of that rear end of the SOB Racing MX5. But yeah, they've got to start closing that gap to Daniel Hunt, because he is the last driver that you want to let get away.
I completely agree with you, mate. I'm not going to lie. They can't let Hunt get away. But then again, you know, it's coming down. It is coming down. The draft seems to be able to be picked up about a second and a bit out there, Zach, which is quite a long gap, to be fair, because of the fact that they're normally within that sort of 7, 8, 9 tenths, Royals, and in some places it's got to be coming down as far as 4 tenths. But here it looks like you could be out about 1.1 and still get a bit of a draft up that back straight. That could really aid some people who are in the race at the moment currently, and they could do with a little bit of help from that draft.
Yeah, indeed so. Slipstream is always a pretty big defining factor. I didn't really expect it so much from Okayama, but I suppose it being quite a technical circuit, the fixed setup is always going to be quite lenient towards maybe a higher downforce car, even if sort of, you know, these MX5s don't have a ton of downforce. The small things that make them slightly more draggy, you know, at higher rear ride height, a lower front end can sort of affect the drag of the car, and that always does help at the car behind with a bit of slipstream. So potentially that could be why. Maybe, I'm not entirely sure how high we are above sea level, but again could also play a bit of a factor into the strength of the slipstream if iRacing does copy that into the sim, which I'd assume it does, because iRacing, they almost cover pretty much all the bases. John Sylvester is the one setting the pace as it stands with a fastest lap of a 1:43.8. That has been matched by Pete Newman and virtually by PVG as well. So the pace of that 3 behind is definitely looking very, very good, as we've got midfield fights up and down.
Yeah, but Kellerman and Bennison, they were side by side, and that is 2 side by side. It wasn't quite where I saw, but unfortunately for Kellerman and Bennett, well, they're still up and running. Not going to lie, still running quite nicely here, side by side down to the next bit as well. Is there going to be contact once more? Bennison's gone in, he's gone in a little bit hot. Oh, Daniel Lewis behind as well. Unfortunately, got his nose stuck and then nearly got it cut off. Sampson side by side with Tom Griffiths on that run up into the hairpin. Sampson on the inside, he's going to make that count. Griffiths looks like, Zach, I'm not going to lie, Griffiths looks like he's not quite comfortable with Okayama as what we would have expected him to be.
Yeah, technical circuits have always taken to Griffiths' liking. I remember back to Knockhill last year, he was quite strong. And last season, I mean, of course. Yeah, I don't know, Tom Griffiths has always been one of those drivers that are so confident and keen to, you know, work his way up the field and utilise his skills. As that's a send from PVG into the second hairpin in the final sector, pushes John Sylvester a little bit wide, and now the Momo driver has got the measure. He's also joined by his teammate of Steve Hefford, so it's Momo bred with SOB meat in this John Sylvester sandwich. PVG ahead, Steve Hefford in behind, now in the slipstream of course, and well, PVG does seem to have quite good pace. It's just now a case of whether or not he can extract it and get onto the back of Pete Newman, who's now closing the gap to Hunt.
Hefford pulled out. I thought he was going to stick his nose in. I thought he was going to have a go. He didn't this time around, but what about Hunt? Hunt here, this is where we're going to see Hunt weave, right? I'm not going to lie. If he's not weaving up that back straight, I would be absolutely shocked here, because he has got Newman pushing in behind him, and he is now going to try and close down onto the back of him as quickly as he can. And he's going to want that place as soon as possible, because I've got this funny feeling, as soon as you let Newman go here, I think he's going to be gone, Zach. I think he's so comfortable at the track. He's not even tucked in behind him. He's that confident. Is he going to be able to get him the 118 MX5? He didn't tuck in behind him. Not understanding why he wouldn't do that. But that's disappointing. Good evening, DCS DK10. Good evening, Mr. J. Good evening, JP. Good evening, sir. Gary Walsh, thank you. Welcome in as well. Asking Andy Littler what he's up to in Dublin. Could be just a weekend away, to be honest. Go on, Andy. Crack it on, son. Yeah, why didn't he have a go? Why didn't he sit in behind him?
Because they both have good pace. So my theory might well be that Newman doesn't really want to get into a fight, bring Pete Van Gool into the mix, bring Hefford and Sylvester into the mix. When he can, in theory, you know, quote-unquote work with Hunt over the course of the next sort of 3 minutes or so, whatever it is, pull out a little bit of a gap, then if he does go for a move and Hunt defends, it's not a drastic disaster for Newman. But then again, on the flip side, that talking about it, it's almost just a case of, it's Pete Newman. He doesn't care. He doesn't overtake and he stays in front. And he surely is confident enough in his pace to know that if he did get past Daniel Hunt, he should have the pace to be able to get away. I'll be honest, I couldn't answer that. Pete Newman is the only one that could into why he, would or wouldn't go for a move. Could just simply be that he wasn't brave enough to go for it. I don't know, maybe. It could be, it's just be as simple as that.
That's fighting words, that is there, saying Pete Newman's not brave enough.
Or, I don't know, not willing to carry the risk if something goes wrong. I don't know. I'm not saying he's not a brave driver.
Shovel needed for Mr. Zach Sweeney, please.
Yeah.
This hole has got deeper and deeper and deeper. There we go.
I'm only 5'9", so it's getting quite deep as it is,
yeah. To be fair, he's still not tucking up behind him. I'm wondering, if he's going to leave this to the final lap. He knows he's guaranteed that final lap. The problem with that final lap is the fact that you've got, obviously, PVG behind him, as we've just seen Miles Owens got the inside of Ralph Cullen there. Arnold Chagnonier from Air Smart Racing leading the AMs. They're diving side by side down in front. Cullen slips in behind, and Owens there as well, being shoved along by Ralph Cullen, and bumper to bumper they go. But what is happening up front? Well, they're bumper to bumper as well. And once more, they're still battling it out. Ralph Cullen is still going with Miles Owens, and Owens has managed to secure the front lead here. I mean, the problem is, by not doing what we expected Newman to do, we've now got PVG thrown into this, and Sylvester, and this could be a four-way with Hefford as well. So you could even have 5 cars over the next 4 minutes get involved in this battle here. And then these guys are definitely in trouble, aren't they? Because you can't not take the move when you need to take the move. And Newman, I think, at this moment, needs to be able to run past Hunt. Oh, I'll do that.
Oh, no. Oh, no. Oh, wow. Okay, that is the last thing you want to see. And that's Daniel Hunt into the barrier. Pete Newman's been able to carry on. We'll have to take another look at that, James, because there is no way we can tell the full story with that one, because I don't know. Yeah.
Look, Hunt's got already on the outside. Newman, they just kind of got hooked up, didn't they? It looked very bizarre from Pete Newman's. Have a look on his right. No, that's it. The other side. No, okay, that's not a great camera angle. No, and that just basically sucked us. So, yeah, unfortunately for that, we didn't really see a lot. Did Hunt go in deep?
I think he's in control of his car. I think he is normally taking a normal racing line. Pete Newman, see, that's ambitious, trying to stick his nose there. It was a little bit silly, but then again, he did have a bit of an overlap. The thing is, though, is that particularly through turn 1, there's a bit of a move here between Dale Bennison and Charles Kellerman as they fight for 14th overall into the next left-hander.
Oh, I thought I was going to see my first disaster there at that corner, which I predicted earlier on. Was he? The thing is, though, he was alongside, right? He was on the outside here. So that's where I'm saying, did Hunt drift over? And that's how they came. Oh, that could happen, yeah, with Bennison and Kellerman.
Well, the thing is that through turn 1, it's a very fast corner. So you're carrying a lot of speed through. Naturally, the car is going to want to lean to the outside. That's how a racing line works. Naturally, that's how it's going to want to happen. So Hunt is just sort of taking his normal race line. He's committed to the corner at that point. He's gone over the curve, he's hit the apex, and he's running the car to the outside. Very late on did Newman have a look to the outside and get his nose into the mix. I don't know, sort of, at that point I would say Dan Hunt has got the right of way of sorts, purely because that, he's committed, he's on his racing line. There's not really much that he can do other than slow down and bear offline. Yeah, I don't know. I'd say it's more a racing incident than anything. It's just a shame as to how it ended, but here's a good old fight for the race lead.
Yeah, Sylvester almost went for it into the hairpin there. PVG, Steve Hefford. Newman's not too far back, mind you. They're going to have one more lap here. I think this could be a PVG Hefford battle to the end.
You don't think Sylvester's getting into it?
I don't know. I like John, and as a driver, I think he's incredibly talented. I just think with the coordination of the two that we've seen, and we've seen them multiple times, right? We know what these guys can do as a team here as well. I just think they'll work together. I just don't think Sylvester's going to get through. Unless he takes a dive and a half here, he's going to need to Tom Daly it into the hairpin.
Yeah, I don't know. I suppose we can just wait and see. We're on to the final lap now anyway, so there's not really much time. But the Momo boys have never been, you know, willing to work together in the past. So, I don't know, yeah. I think this final lap will obviously tell us all we need to know, really, with things. John Sylvester, though, is going to be very, very keen to get himself into the race leaders. So too Ewan Bramer and Jamie Ayres in this fight for 7th. Between the two of them on the final lap. Great way to sort of round the race off, being fights up and down the field. Good little move there from Ayres as he picks his way past. Now we've got 2 rows of 2 as Ralph Cullen tries to get himself into the mix as well. But look out for that lead fight.
Yeah, they're still going at it. That's Bramer and Owens here, but here it is. Here is the final run now on the final lap of the race. Van Gaal, Hefford and Sylvester. Sylvester is going to take a dive. If he's got to, he's got to do it now. They've blocked him off straight away. That's it. Done. Sylvester will be in 3rd. He is not going to be able to get through between now and the end of this lap unless there is some meaty run out of the second to last corner here from Sylvester that he's going to be able to go around the last corner here. I think these guys now are going to wrap him up, and I think he's not going to be able to get any further unless, of course, he's going to take a dive, which he has done. Oh, no, he didn't. That's it.
Set in stone now. Yeah. No overtaking opportunities unless one of these guys make a mistake. As unfortunate as it is, nowhere to get it done.
No, unfortunately not, but it is PVG coming round over the line now. The Flying Dutchman here once more goes over the line, manages to keep it on track for the final time. He comes over the line. Pete Van Gaal is going to be your winner. I hope he does keep his foot in. The line's a little bit further down here. There we go. PVG over the line here as well. And then it's Arnold Chagnonier for Air Smart Racing. Currently out in front and leading the arms. He's going to go across the line with Darrell Wright. Of course, Mr. Wright had an absolute awful start. Didn't kind of seem to go anywhere off the start. And then, of course, we've got Jordan Syret rounding out the top 3. And Jordan Syret manages to hang on from Steve Hansford there as well. We didn't quite get the fireworks and the battle to the run to the line that we expected. Yes, we had the Newman Hunt incident, but I think at the end of the day, there could have been more in that, couldn't there? We could have seen a lot more. But is that lending to the fact of how difficult it is to overtake here at Okayama? And that's why people weren't going through, because once you got in that draft line, you were just one after the other, after the other, after the other.
Yeah, see, I wouldn't say it's difficult to overtake at Okayama. I think that if things go wrong, they go really wrong. It's not a case of Paul Ricard. If you go for a move and it goes wrong, you have a whole runway worth of runoff to depend on. It's more a case of here, you've got the overtaking opportunities. It's just if someone doesn't give someone space, or if there's a mistake or anything like that, both cars involved have things that go really wrong. Same with Newman and Hunt. That incident, you know, it's just one of those tracks really that punishes mistakes, and it is a shame because the moves that we did see were very, very fantastic. I think it's more a case of any track that does have quite a high tendency on slipstream, like with Monza, Daytona, whatever. People aren't too interested in going for moves purely because they know how easy it is that they're going to be counterattacked.
Yeah, I do agree with you there as well. But here are the final results. PVG out in front, Steve Hefford 2nd, John Sylvester 3rd, Pete Newman 4th, Tom Griffiths in 5th, Martin Sampson 6th, Jamie Ayres 7th, Ewan Bramer 8th, Miles and Owens 9th, Ralph Cullen in 10th. Then we've got the leader of the AMS, Arnold Chagnonier is in 1st place. And then Darren McLean mixing it up in the middle there in 12th. Darrell Wright 2nd in the AMS. Jordan Syret 3rd in the AMS. 15th overall with Steve Hansford, Dale Benison, Roger Morton. And also then we've got Sir Alan Toon, Dan Lewis, Dan Hunt, and Jason Haddington there at the back end of the field. Right, Zach, top 9 reverse.
Newman. It's going to be Newman this race. I can feel it. He's starting 5th, I think. Yeah. nothing for Newman. I think that the 4 in front of him, Griffith, Sampson, Bramer and Owens, they've not really been on the pace. Fantastic drivers and have proven themselves in this championship. I don't think they're quite going to be good enough to match Pete Newman in this race. If he can get a good enough start and not get swallowed up from behind, yeah, it's Newman's to lose.
That's a tough one, you know. You've got a good one there. You got a good one. I'm going to go with Steve Hefford. Oh, no, though, because Tom Griffiths is in front, isn't he?
Yeah. He's in 4th.
Oh, but he's not really cracking the pace. Do you know what? I am. I'm going to go with Griffiths. Tom Griffiths this time. Tom Griffiths, Pete Newman. And then I had Pete Newman in race 1. You had John Sylvester. So, there you go. PVG, welcome. Good job. I love the fact he jumps in, does the same signal, does the same emo, and then jumps out again. But we have got Steve Hefford waiting in the booth here as well. Steve, welcome in. Sorry, we didn't see you there. How are you getting on, sir?
Yeah, not bad, buddy. You?
Mate, I'm wonderful. Cracking, not a bad opening start for you. Second place.
Yeah, I was just saying to Pete, I was just opening my mouth to say we're here to pick up the pieces, and then they came together. I just watched it back now. It was really unlucky.
Yeah.
There was a touch on the rear quarter, and when you do that, it just pulls the two cars together.
Yeah, that's exactly what we said. It looked like they just got attached, unfortunately, didn't they? And that was it.
Yeah, just different lines. Dan had gone slightly defensive. Yeah, it's one of them easy done, to be fair.
Yeah, what's the aspirations for race 2, Steve?
Well, to be honest, I'm just gonna finish all the races. Just to be honest, this is my last night for a while. Probably won't see the rest of this season, to be fair. So I had a run on Pete then, but there's no point, so I'll just give him a push instead. So I'm not bothered where I finish. Just want to have some good races tonight and just enjoy it, you know.
Yeah, I think that's the thing. Well, obviously, you know, good luck with everything going forward, Steve, and you know, hope it goes all right, to be fair. And we might see you towards the back end, possibly, maybe. Do you think there's a chance?
Yeah. My last 2 ops were sort of in the end of November, December, so it was all in the winter series, and I'd just about got back for when the summer season started. So yeah, about 10 weeks, 12 weeks maybe.
All right, mate.
I don't know.
Steve,
just suck it in and see, I guess.
Yeah, good luck. Hope it all goes well for you, bud. We'll drop you back up in your room, and we'll look forward to having a chat with you later. Take care, bud.
Yeah, I hope so. Enjoy.
Thanks, mate.
Catch you later.
Bye. That was Steve Hefford there, unfortunately, is going in for a operation, a back operation, and then he unfortunately will be out for quite a while there as well. So let's see how this works out. And we'll put the grid up here very, very shortly for race 2. There we go. Right, here is the grid for round 2. Miles Owens in first place, Ewan Bramer second, Jamie Ayres third, Martin Sampson fourth, Tom Griffiths fifth, Pete Newman sixth, John Sylvester seventh, Steve Hefford eighth, PVG 9th, Ralph Cullen 10th, Arnold Chagnon, the leader of the AMS, Darren McLean in 12th place there. And then behind that, we've got Darrell Wright, Charles Kellerman, Jordan Syret, Steve Hansford, Dale Bennison, Roger Morton, Sir Alan Toon, Daniel Lewis, Dan Hunt, and Jason Haddington there as well. So, right. Still fancy your chances, young Zach?
Yes, I do. I think he's
you
doing...
Are there. You are there.
Of course I am.
Okay, welcome back.
Where would I have gone?
I have no idea. Here we go, though. Lights coming on. We're going to be underway. 3, 4, 5. And we are underway once more for round 2 here at Heat 2 at Okayama. And it is Miles Owens, Ewan Bramer, Jamie Ayres, Martin Sampson, Tom Griffiths, Pete Newman, all involved in this one as well. Steve Hefford's there, PVG, Ralph Cullinan mixing it up as well, trying to move forward. And once again, Dan Hunt has been involved in a collision right at the beginning. That is Jason Hallington. Trying to send it up the inside there. Not necessarily sure. Jordan Syret also involved in that one as well. But it is E1 Bramer, and this battle of cars here, Zach, is going to be an interesting one for the first run up here.
Is indeed side by side between the two SOB boys as well. We were in Bramer and Miles Owens jostling for the lead. You've got Jamie Ayres and Tom Griffiths in the background fighting over third. Pete Newman and Samson as well, with 2 wide, 3 deep between these top 6 into the hairpin for the first time. And you can see it's going to be E1 Bramer that beats out the two SOB boys, or is it actually? Because Owens is very brave on the brakes, has got a bit of a nose ahead. You can see the Pure Sims driver of Pete Newman as well there in 6th place, trying to make it 5th. There's Griffiths just slowly there in 4th place, trying to make some progress side by side as Bramer's now under pressure from Ayres. And here comes Tom Griffiths. He's got a fantastic run, makes it 3 wide onto the grass and around the outside of E1 Bramer. There goes Jamie Ayres. He stays in 2nd place out on the brakes from Newman. There's contact as they all bunch up into the hairpin once again. Oh my word, it's carnage.
Yeah, there was almost like an accordion effect there. It was just everybody squashed up together. There was no physical way anywhere we're going, and at the moment that's led to Miles Owens out in front, Jamie Ayres, Tom Griffiths, E1 Bramer here, and Martin Sampson, and then Pete Newman, and then we've got Steve Hefford, John Sylvester as well. Newman's on the gravel. He's going to hold it. Is he going to hold it? No! Newman's in the wall, Zach. Oh, it's blown the engine. The engine's blown as well. Oh, Zach. Not going well.
Don't act like you feel sorry for me, mister. I can hear the false sympathy as Griffiths goes around the outside of Jamie Ayres. You're going to be absolutely loving that one. He's up in a 2nd place. Jamie Ayres just tucked in behind. Z1 Bramer has a good run. He's trying to force the hand to the inside. Jamie Ayres eventually gives him the space. The white and black MX5 looks to go late on the brakes into Atwood curve. Does exactly that. And the shorter run through should definitely promote him up into 3rd place, and does. There goes Martin Sampson trying to make the most of it and nip his way up the inside as well. It's going to be dependent on if he gets the slipstream that he's able to find his way past the red Momo car of Jamie Ayres. Is there going to be any changes between these guys? Not entirely sure. Are they going to make it 3 wide even? Samson's going to have to be brave on the brakes here, James.
Yeah, he sent it 3 wide going into the hairpin, and then he kind of backed out. That unfortunately brought Hefford right up there. Oh no. Oh no, there goes Samson.
Oh, he's gone. He's gone.
He's gone off.
Where is he going to go?
Nowhere. He stops in the gravel. Samson is there in the gravel once more. And these are PVG and also the SOB of John Sylvester battling it out. And we've got, the interesting thing, we've got a Momo, SOB Momo battle here. And it is now there with John Sylvester, who's just gone up the inside of Hefford. Jamie Ayres and E1 Bramer are battling it out side by side. You can see the battle further back here, Zach. There's just nowhere to point the camera in a point where we see both of them. Well, there you go, that works. And they're coming around the final corner now. And they're still battling away. Jamie Ayres, E1 Bramer, Steve Hefford, John Sylvester. Looks like Sylvester's got a bit of a run over Hefford. Is he going to be able to make it through? Newman's just gone a lap down, unfortunately for him, coming down into turn 1. Oh, is he going to be able to get this? Ayres is going to be able to hang on, I think. And so behind that as well is Steve Hefford. But there is a lot going on here, Zach. This with still 11 minutes remaining.
Yep, plenty left to dissect and sink our teeth into. Not a lot in it at all. Oh my word, that was John Sylvester going wide. I think it was. Steve Hefford picked his way past Jamie Ayres as well as they go side by side. They've got Ewan Bramer to contest for 3rd. Who's going to be bravest on the brakes? It is of the two going to be Hefford. John Sylvester trying to go the long way round as well, keep his foot and keep that momentum up. And as long as he emerges side by side, he deserves the space. Indeed so. Who gets the slipstream though as they rise up over the crest and now the plateau as we now dip our way slightly downhill into the hairpin. Hefford looks to the inside of Bramer. Look at the speed that he's got alongside that and the red and yellow Momo MX5. Brave on the brakes as well, it must be said, from Steve Hefford, who doesn't really care where he finishes, and I think that's actually been the best motivating factor for him because he doesn't care. Oh, the send!
Sylvester sent it on the inside there, Zach, and I thought it was going to be game over. PVGs did the same to Ralph Cullinan. Cullinan's on the grass here as well. Behind that, Arnold Chagnon and Darryl Wright battling out for the lead in the AMs here. They've just got to be sitting back watching this thinking, I am not getting involved in that, because I would not want to be involved in this battle here, Zach. I'm not going to lie. It might be fun from a driver's point of view, though, don't you think?
This battling? Yeah, I'd be loving it. I'd much rather this than winning by, like 10 seconds. This, honestly, as much as I'd be enjoying winning, I'd find it so boring. I would rather be in this fighting for 3rd or 2nd, wherever it is, than be leading by a country mile. It's just much more enjoyable to me. It keeps me occupied in a race. I'm sure these guys are absolutely loving it as the move there potentially from John Sylvester to the inside of Ayres gets given the space, and well, this is how you race, ladies and gents.
Yeah, it definitely is here as well. It was the same last night in the Clio Cup. If you haven't watched that, you should. It is absolutely unbelievable racing. It was exactly the same last night. Very tough, very fair. This is what's been happening. Sylvester's now going in Ayres once more. PVG, do you know what? It looks like from PVG's point of view, he's snapping at the heels here. He looks like almost an Alsatian wanting to have a go. And just for good health, the Irishman, Ralph Cullinan, says, well, if you're going to go wide, I'm coming up the inside. And he's now sent it free wide as well, going up into the hairpin. Sylvester settles in behind Ayres. Ayres and Cullinan running side by side once more. We go on to the flat bit of the hill. We're going to be on the brakes now. Cullinan's going to try and sneak it up the inside. Jean Yunier is still defended from Darrell Wright behind here as well. Jamie Ayres on the inside. Cullinan's got to... Oh. And now Sylvester's going to have a go as well into the second, into Piper. And these guys are battling it out all the way through. Ed's out of shape. He's gone. Jamie Ayres has done it all on his own, Zach. He's gone now. That's it. Game over.
Yep. In 15-minute races, you can't afford mistakes like that. Side by side now between PVG and Ralph Cullinan. Inside line for the Irishman, who tries to keep the Dutchman honest, but about half his car alongside, and PVG's got the outside line through the penultimate corner now into the final one. It's going to be a quick flick to the right, and PVG has got the advantage, but a 5-car train here for 6th place. Absolutely sensational stuff. A dip into the gravel though from PVG, a small mistake, and it's got big consequences here because, well, they're all queuing up behind.
Yeah, Ralph Cullinan's going to go on the inside here. The Irishman once more in that results clothing car is having a go. Steve Hefford has got silver. Ewan Bramer right behind him. Griffiths has closed the gap down now to the car in front of Miles Owens. It was below of what it was above 1 second. It's now 8 tenths. And Tom Griffiths goes and bangs in the fastest lap on the last lap as well. 1:44.28 here. This battle as well. Darrell Wright and Arnold Chonier battling it out for the AMs. Darren McLean is just like, no, I don't know where to go, so I'm not going to be able to go anywhere. Go up the inside. I would follow Chonier and take Chonier's line. But Steve Hefford, look at that. He is so close to that white line. John Sylvester, Ewan Bramer is not even getting a sniff of that inside there, Zach. He was hugging it like crazy.
Yeah, well, he's done everything he can to defend Steve Hefford. He is absolutely loving this race. He wants to go out with a bang, and that's exactly what he is doing. Side by side in the background as well, Ralph Cullinan able to etch his way once again ahead of Pete Van Gool in that fight for 6th. Unfortunately, it is spreading the top 6 out ever so slightly, but fantastic midfield fights as we've touched on. Tom Griffiths, by the way, is closing the gap to Miles Owens. That's only about half a second or so, because Tom Griffiths, whatever, I don't know what's happened in this race. He's just switched it on and he's suddenly got pace again.
Yeah, he definitely has. That was Ayres and Morton battling away. Cullinan and PVG fighting it out here with Arnold Chonier right behind him. Cullinan's going to try and go past, and he's now got Jordan Syrett in front of him. Syrett is a back marker here, so he could use him. Oh no, Syrett decides, okay, well, let's do the sensible thing and move over, which probably is the most sensible thing, I would have thought, when you've got the leaders coming through. But Syrett Haddington has also had an incident, unfortunately, for Jason Haddington there as well. Not having a good evening overall, but he's had a rough day, is that young man. So much condolences out to Jason currently at the moment. And Miles Owens and now Tom Griffiths battling it out for the lead. Here's that. Could this be the first win in the Commentators' Championship for the evening?
I don't know. It might well be. As Miles Owens does go defensive, Tom Griffiths is trying all he can. Again, absolutely loving this racing, not loving the fact that James is right. Pete Newman, oh, well, that is a bit of a shame, I'll be honest, but I can't ignore this brilliant bit of battling here. Miles Owens has got the inside line. He's late on the brakes. It's not quite late enough to completely thwart the attack from Tom Griffiths, who goes the long way round. It gives him the inside for the next left-hander. Tom Griffiths takes the lead of the race, and as much as it pains me to say, he's on fire.
Out in front, job done for him. Ewan Bramer behind him there with Steve Hefford fighting it out. Darren McLean again getting involved in this battle with PVG. Darrell Wright is side by side with PVG. Is he going to be looking at the inside? Not this time, Zach, but it is all getting close with Martin Sampson and Ralph Cullinan as well.
Oh, who's that with that front end? That's Ralph Cullinan with a very cold engine, but a bit of a dink to his front bumper. We'll take a look as to how it happened. That is Pete Van Gool. He's given him the squeeze. He continues coming over to the left. He brought it on himself. As much as I love Ralph Cullinan, well, we'll take a look from this angle, actually. I think that's more fair. Moving over to the left, PVG's now there. Sorry, Cullinan. That is... he's made his own bed there.
I've got to agree. Well, that don't happen very often, but we are in agreement there, Mr. Sweeney.
Wow.
I know. Check us out. Some teammates this evening. Who would have known it? God blimey. Ewa Bramer battling it out. Daniel Hunt still fighting it out with Charles Kellerman further down here as well. With Darren McLean in front of him. Kellerman doing a stellar job of keeping Hunt at bay. Hunt is at 10 places. He's now made contact. Bit of door rubbing with Kellerman on the way round Atwood. On that run up into the hill. Hunt is looking racy further down as well in 11th here, Zach. But Steve Hefford still got John Sylvester right behind him.
Yeah, not much in it whatsoever. So we've got to, keep our wits about us. Same too does each and every driver on the circuit. They are closed in ever so slightly, 1.82 miles Owens, and they are ever so slightly quicker. That last lap was actually about 6/10, nearly 7/10 actually quicker than Miles Owens. So if they keep this up, they might well be able to make a late charge. However, a battle here now brewing as Heffer goes to the inside, Bramer to the outside. He's late on the brakes, he's got the agility, he gets thwarted away. They could catch, but I don't think Bramer is interested in Miles Owens. I think he's more interested in the podium.
Yeah, Dan Hunt has just cleared Kellerman. So Hunt down in 10th has just cleared Kellerman with Darren McLean and right behind that as well. And these guys are doing an absolutely stellar job further down the order. Dan Hunt coming through there in the red and white DOF with Rowley with the obstacle green right behind him. Arnold Chagnon is in front of these. The AM leader currently at the moment here, Zach, as well. Got a bit of a gap to Darryl Wright, not by much, mind you. Wright is in the queue to join in with the battling if he needs to. But again, it's a very tough battle here down from about 6th onwards.
Yeah, it's brilliant battling. Absolutely loving it. I'll be honest, it's really putting on a fantastic show for us today. And well, what more did we expect from a bit of UkSimracers MX5 in terms of how competitive this championship is? This is Arnold Chagnon trying to keep PVG at bay. He has got Darryl Wright just in behind as well. And in terms of the AM Championship, Chagnon is going to want to do his best to maximise the points haul. For those new, it's not 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 for the pros and then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 for the AMs. No, it's just one long continuous point score. So the more cars between Chagnon and Wright, first and second of the AMs, the more points that Chagnon is going to gain. As it stands though, PVG wants to try his best to retain the championship lead that he had coming into round 2. He's late on the brakes. He's managed to get it stopped, and well, now he's ahead. There's a big send there from Daniel Hunt trying to recover from a lap 1 incident though. Yeah,
trying to get alongside Darryl Wright, McLean and Kellerman there as well. McLean slips out the inside. Got a job done there as well. Kellerman left the inside open. McLean said, thank you very much. If you're going to give me that much room, I am coming through. And he did it there as well. Darryl Wright, Daniel Hunt now. Okay, Darryl Wright's got his wits about it now because Hunt was coming through regardless. Griffiths and Owens are back together here. This is going to be a final lap charge here from Owens. Can he make this work, Zach? I know you've got to be sat there praying for it to happen.
Well, yeah, I'm praying for a move. I'm not necessarily praying for Owens to win because I feel that to be a bit harsh. And I don't want to be that guy that's trying to strike people down because I don't want to lose the commentators battle. I just want some good racing out here. And if it does mean I do a forfeit at the end of the championship, then who cares as long as we've enjoyed it along the way. Tom Griffiths though, it would be nice if he does come second, I'll be honest. But we'll wait and see. We've not got very long left to go. We are on to the final lap. And I'm doing my best to climb myself out of this hole.
Yeah.
To sound positive, to sound like I'm smiling. Because it's hard. Just
probably stop talking about now might help you.
Good idea, yeah. I'll just...
Just stop. The digging gets deeper with the words that you exit, Mr. Sweeney. But Owens almost looked at taking a dive again. I don't think he's going to make it through unless he does something crazy on this run down through Revolver and into Piper here. And once more, I think it is going to be Griffiths if he can hang on. And I think he will hang on. He will be victor in race number 2. Don't forget, we have got swap sessions between 2 and then 3. Owens almost took a dive up at Redmond before he goes into Hobbs. I think this is going to be it. Oh, he nearly pushed him round. That would have been harsh for Griffiths there. Oh, Owens is gone. That would have been hard for Griffiths as he's coming round now. Final corner, he's going to take this victory. Don't forget, he's got to drive it all the way down the circuit. He cannot leave that door open. They're going to be on the run down. Is Owens going to get there? Is Griffiths going to get there? It is Griffiths! Woof. Well, that was close. There as well, Zach.
Yeah, good bit of racing. And well done to James, because he's going to be very, very chuffed with that victory. The rest of the field come across to round off this race. Sean Yunay and Wright, not separated by any other cars other than themselves in that fight for the AM lead as well. Good bit of racing. Pete Newman, Dan Hunt, though, big stories in that race with some early crashes and things. But I have to say, Daniel Hunt was probably the driver of that race in the way that he's fought his way back up to 7th.
Yeah, I fully agree with you there as well. Hunt doing an absolutely stellar job. Jason Haddington still on track with Dan Lewis here as well as these guys come around the final corner. That makes the score 1-0 to me. So I'll just write that down with a big smile on my face as we will be coming across the line now for Haddington and Lewis. And there you go. Job done. Here are the feature results for race 2. Tom Griffiths is your winner by 0.05 of a second. Steve Hefford in 3rd, Ewan Bramer 4th, John Sylvester 4th, 5th, Pete Van Gaal 6th, Daniel Hunt 7th, and Arnold Chagnon once again takes the win in the AMS. And Darrell Wright once again is 2nd in the AMS. Darren McLean once again is in the middle of the AMS with Charles Kellerman, Martin Sampson, Dale Bennison rounding out the podium of the AMS. Jamie Ayres in 14th, Alan Toon 15th, Roger Morton 16th, Hansford 17th, and Jason Haddington in 18th place. Dan Lewis, Jordan Syret, Ralph Cullinan, and Pete Newman rounds out the back end there as well, the final positions. Right, guys, me and young Zach are off to take a quick break while we change over sessions. And as always, we will see you very, very shortly, no doubt, as we head into Heat 3. Not many to go here. And stay tuned because it is going to be absolutely amazing. For now, see you all shortly. Okay, guys, we are back once again for Heat 3 and 4 here. And what an epic 2 heats it's been. That action has been incredible for the first 2 races. 2 more to go here, Zach. Who's going to be the winner for race 3 then, young Zachary?
Can I at least wait and see the grid, or is that not happening?
No, that's not happening.
All right, okay. I doubt it is going to randomize itself to be last, so I doubt Pete Newman's anywhere near the front.
And you can't pick him. You've had him once already.
That is true, yeah. Yeah, I don't know. Just trying to think who we've had. I think, where did Sylvester finish? Sylvester finished 5th in the last race. I think it does. Actually, no. I'm not. You know what? I'm going with Daniel Hunt.
Okay. Daniel Hunt is then.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm going to go with, who have I not had? Steve Hefford, I think. I think he, oh no, because he doesn't want to get involved in the championship. That's a bit of a duff pick. Put my hand up, that contact could have been avoided. Sorry again, Ralph, says PVG. Do you know what? I'm going to go with PVG.
Ooh. Hang on, no. Oh, no, you haven't had him. No, you considered him. Yeah, no, sorry. Yeah, I'm with you. All right. Fair enough. Yeah, PVG's a good shout. He's quick today.
Yeah. So I'm going to go with PVG. So don't let me down, Pete. All right, if you're listening.
Or do. And let us know who your favourite commentator is.
Oh. Well, that's a no-brainer, isn't it? Huh?
I don't know, is it?
As we wait for Phil from Phil there to put his bit
but what Phil's irrelevant now. I'm joking. Phil just loves you anyway.
This is true. Can't help that.
It's because I'm the co-coms.
Is that what it is, do you reckon?
I think so. I think he just likes abusing the second person.
You reckon it would be different if you were lead?
Well, no, because it's you and me. If it's like me and Kelsey and I'm leading Kelsey, he'll pick on Kelsey.
Does he?
I think so.
Well, there we go.
It's mainly Dan, actually. Dan gets the worst, but that's because he deserves it, doesn't he?
Yeah, I fully agree with you on that one. I think Phil, you carry on with Dan there, mate. You give him grief, it's all good. Dan does, thrive on it a little bit, I'm not going to lie. As well, we are into the last 10 minutes of practice. We are expecting the session to get forwarded on, so we will be underway hopefully within the next few minutes here. And I think it's going to be an exciting one. I think it's going to be one that we're all going to sit and enjoy once more. And I'm hoping PVG comes out on top.
This has really just promoted commentary bias this season, our little championship. I don't know if it's a good thing or a bad thing. I don't know.
Put it this way, who has been nominated for an award? Ouch.
Popularity. James is in more Discords than me. He's got more little minions to call back on. Yeah.
More minions.
Yeah, more people to say, come vote for me, guys. I ain't got that many friends.
Oh.
And all my friends voted for themselves anyway.
Oh. Must have been hard to accept.
Must have been, yeah.
Yeah. Are you gonna put out a little, have you got your campaign budget aside to send out, stickers and badges to everyone?
You'll be the one funding it, so it'll be...
Will I?
Yeah, it'll be all the JPB invoices that get tucked away nicely into a little savings account.
Oh,
and
okay.
then ready to go for why I deserve to be a VCO.
Yeah, well, you'll be all right this season. I don't think I'm going to be entering into the hat. I think if it happens, it happens. But I won't be pushing like I did last season for it. So yeah, you might have a chance.
Maybe, we'll see. Thing is, though, I've done more stuff for VCO than you have. So
well, yeah. I suppose if you're known within, you might have an opportunity.
Yeah, but then again, you've also got Lewis and Arjuna and Luke and Ewan and all those other people that are very, very friendly with them lot. So yeah, I don't know. We'll see. Phil across the pond, one big minion And what's that violin playing in the background? That is actually my personal orchestra that I can afford and you can't. And they are really good.
We normally hear his puppy, to be honest with you, Phil, or his dog.
Oh, don't even.
We normally hear the dog in the background playing the violin.
Oh my God! It sounds like he's smashing the violin across the floor. That little dog. It is the most annoying thing. I don't even know. Chihuahua, Shih Tzu, something.
Something really small.
Yeah, Chihuahua.
He must be the same as you and have small personality syndrome.
What? Did you just have what small personality syndrome? One sec, I need to Google that because that sounds like an insult.
They normally call it small dog syndrome, don't they? Where the little Jack Russell thinks he's an Alsatian. So there we go.
Right. That is out of order.
Which one did you Google?
I just said small personality disorder. And that turns out that's not actually a real thing. So I don't know if that's proven your point or not.
Right, here is the grid for race through. Darren McLean's on pole with Sean Yonye, Sylvester, Newman, Hansford, Hunt, Sampson, Syret, Lewis, Hefford, Bramer and Wright rounds out the top 12 here, and then beyond that, because they're all on the grid, Morton, Ayres, Owens, Toon, Cullen and Griffiths. Oh, Van Gaal's down in 19th. Kellerman, Haddington, Pedersen there once more, and we're up and running, and we're going to be underway. We are underway now. It's green with Darren McLean and Arnold Chagnon going down into turn one. Pete Newman, John Sylvester. Sylvester cuts off Newman's nose and said, if you're going to go round me, you're going to try and go round me the long way. McLean's having a go with Chagnon. Can Chagnon hold on? That's going to be the question. Can this take the overall? Can he join the likes of Nick Barry? Can he join the likes of Craig Jones of winning the overall as an AM? It's going to be an exciting one to see, but Chagnon still leading the way. Newman is just about to clear McLean as McLean on the run down into Atwood, and it is Pete Newman taking that second place there as well. He's going to have a go as well. Steve Evert's off. Oh, Evert's all the way at the back of the field, and I think he did it all on his own. Oh no, there definitely is contact somewhere. And where is it coming from? That's going to be the question. It's going to be coming from Kellerman. Oh, unfortunately for Steve Everett there. Newman has just taken the lead over Arnold Chagnon with Pete Newman. Can we have a picture, please? Thank you very much. And Newman has just got past Chagnon. Chagnon is a cork in a bottle at the moment with Dan Hunt. Also trying to go around the outside of him here, Zach, as well. This is a bit of a barnstorming start.
It is indeed fantastic stuff to kickstart things here for race 3. Dan Hunt around the outside. Chagnon pinched in the middle ever so slightly. There goes John Sylvester trying to get the up and under. He's side by side with Darren McLean. The Scotsman goes for the move, and there's contact. Sylvester goes all the way around the outside with a lucky escape. Chagnon now beached in the middle of the circuit. Don't do that. He's trying to edge forward. It's caused carnage. It's caused calamity. And now he finally rejoins. It's like, I don't even know. Just being sat trying to turn right at a traffic light and no one will let you in. And Chagnon has gone from bad to worse with that one. I suppose that's unlucky with McLean to the inside.
Yeah, it definitely was. Unfortunately there for McLean, he did have a go and he did put his nose up where it's not wanted. And that is what the result of the incident is. PVG trying to get onto the back of Dan Lewis and Darrell Wright here. Right on the left in the 84. There's Kellerman across track. He stopped right in front of Jason Haddington. Literally, there is Haddington right behind Kellerman. And unfortunately for Charles Kellerman, it's just going from bad to worse in race 2. And they're back up and running. PVG has cleared Lewis. He has cleared Wright. And next on his list will be Cullinan. If he can run around the outside of Lewis here as well, he's going to have a go. And involved in that one is Miles Owens once more. But it is Pete Newman out in front with Dan Hunt in second, with John Sylvester right behind him, with Martin Sampson, Jordan Syret, Ewan Bramer, Jamie Ayres, Tom Griffiths, Steve Hansford and Ralph Cullinan rounding out your top 10. Griffiths has just gone up the inside of Hansford and has made that position. Cullinan's going to try as well. Are we going to see the first contact of the evening down into Revolver? Cullinan thinks better of it. He backs away from him, Zach. That's probably a smart move on Cullinan's part.
Yeah, indeed so. No real reason is to risk it a hell of a lot. Now he's got maybe a decent opportunity. He's being turned around. Steve Hansford into the barrier. And Cullinan's done the reverse as to what happened to him in race 2. That is big news for Hansford and a big shame as well for the 57 machine.
Yeah, unfortunately contact with Ralph Cullinan there as well. Cullinan had the same thing with PVG in the last race, of course, but these two battling away once more with Jordan Tyra and Jamie Ayres. Ayres is looking racy here tonight though, Zach. He's looking strong all the way through this. And I think he could easily make this move here down into turn one. Here he goes. Jamie Ayres is going to send it up the inside. Job done to good, and see you later, Jordan Tyra there as well. Miles Owens PVG. Miles Owens not getting through on Pete Van Gaal this time, but it is Newman out in front with the ever-looming Dan Hunt behind him.
Indeed so, the gap now creeping on to a second, actually now under a second between the two of them. The pace set from Dan Hunt is, well, astronomical, a 43.655, which I actually think is 0.3 or so quicker than what he did for his pole time in qualifying. Obviously assisted ever so slightly with slipstream, but still a phenomenal lap time to be putting in race conditions as well. Dan Hunt now is closing the gap over, well, one of the favourites to win all the time, Pete Newman, and well, Dan Hunt as well. Two tyrants of this championship, if you will. They're always two that are at the front, and the only thing that really stops them sometimes is a bit of bad luck. Here's Griffiths, your race 2 winner, looking to the inside of Jordan Syret. Not really much materialising there, but I think we've got a brilliant battle brewing for the first place. That also was a bit of a tongue twister.
I can see. It took a while for you to speak there, sir. So unfortunately,
yeah.
Looks like Hebbard's had another incident. So is Jason Haddington here as well. Unfortunately, they've come across, but Griffiths has just gone up the inside of Jordan Syret. Syret says, well, take it. You're the pro, I'm the am. Next for Jordan Syret is Ralph Cullinan. Next for Cullinan is PVG. And where did we see that? We saw it in race 2. But they come together, and unfortunately it ended up with Ralph Cullinan producing his own airflow system on the front of the MX5. So let's see how this one goes. Now, Hunt has got that gap down below 7/10 here, Zach, and this was a battle that could definitely come to loggerheads as we go into the last 9 minutes.
Yeah, indeed so. So, Dan Hunt, bring it on, son. Equalise it for me and bring it home in the lead. Fingers crossed, we'll see. Van Gaal with a fast lap time, so no prizes for fast lap time for you, but at least he's quick, I suppose, James. I think you just got a little bit unlucky with the placement of PVG on the grid.
Yeah, definitely. It was right back. Towards the back. He's in like 19th or something. He's up 9 places, sitting in 10th at the moment is the Dutchman. So go on, Pete, do it for us all. Sampson's having a go at that is John Sylvester in front. You can see the leaders coming through now. Is Sampson going to go and try and send it up on the inside? He's got the run. He can if he really wants to. Is he going to be able to open that steering up? He's not. He didn't send it through this time. Another man that looks like he's waiting. PVG and Ralph Cullinan. Owens is blinking in the background there as well. PVG goes round the outside. Is he going to run him round the outside this time? There was no contact. He's going to try to cut back. Is he going to be able to get the door open for him? He's not. PVG tucks in again as they go round Revolver now. Through Piper, they've got Syret in front of him as well. He's not going to know where to go here because he is kind of trying to stay out the way of the battles for the pros. Cullinan's going to nip up the inside. PVG's going to nip up the inside. Is he going to have a go at the same time? He's not. Round they go, Redmond corner. Up into Hobbs now, and it's still Cullinan with PVG tucked up right behind him. And Jordan Syret out the way from Miles Owens, and now it is Syret and Wright battling it out for the AM lead.
Yeah, indeed so. Looking forward to seeing this develop. Brilliant bit of battling between these guys and absolutely loving every second of it. That is what we look forward to each and every Tuesday as they're all tagged round. And the same two, PVG tagging Ralph Cullinan. Well, this time there's no way you can blame Cullinan for that. PVG into the back of him.
Yeah, Miles Owens having a go as well over PVG coming down into turn 1. PVG manages to hold on. He's now got about 4.5 seconds up the road to Griffiths. There goes Griffiths just going off round Williams. PVG's, I don't think, is capable of getting that far, and that's not anything disrespectful to PVG, but we know how fast Griffiths has been. He is a race winner there in race 2, and unfortunately for Ralph Cullinan in the last corner, there was contact. I'll try and have a look back at that one once more, as there is a little bit of a gap right about now to have a look at Ralph Cullinan and Pete Van Gaal. Was there actually contact? That's going to be the question. Or was he... I don't know, you know, Zach. I've got to be honest.
Was that by... There's no way he's lost it by himself. I don't know. Let's have a look. Yeah, it's a good look. I don't know. Yeah. Is it netcode?
No,
over the curb? No, yeah.
no.
He's slowed down over the curb. PVG's put his foot down. and just going for the back of Cullen. I think that angle is all the evidence that you need.
Yeah, PVG's going to run Miles Owens now. Owens looks like he got the move done into the hairpin. PVG looks like he's going to get the move done into Redmond. He did there as well. E1 Bramer battling out. He's got another Momo behind him for SOB, and that is Jamie Ayres. The front battle is coming down slowly. It's down to 4 attempts. We'll keep an eye on it with 6 minutes remaining here at Okayama for Heat 3 of the UK SimRacers MX5 on a Tuesday with myself, James Parfitt, and Zach Sweeney. Broadcast live on the JPB YouTube channel. Pete Van Gaal taking a big dose of gravel back there and then goes straight over to the left-hand side to try and defend that position. Ayres has got Griffiths closing in here. The Newman battle, though, however, is 3 attempts at the moment, Zach.
Yeah, wow, bring it on. What is it, 5 minutes and 45 seconds left to go of race 3, and it's been nothing short of fantastic, exactly what we are to expect. And it's not been a runaway from Pete Newman. He's had Daniel Hunt breathing all over him all race long, and now the pressure is building and building and building to the point that the white, blue and black Pure Sims MX5 has to go all the way to the white line, even with a bit of the kink. He's following it all the way around, not leaving an inch. Daniel Hunt to the outside. He's late on the brakes. Pete Newman's later. He covers off his bases, gets the move to the inside, and retains that race lead for now. The up and under from Hunt is on, but doesn't quite work because of the short run into Revolver. Now through the next left, and well, Daniel Hunt, he's not quite in front yet, but he's putting the pressure on and he is cementing himself in this battle.
Yeah, I've got to say, Hunt's looking quick. Hunt is looking meaty fast here, and I got a funny feeling if Hunt can get a run, whether it be out of last corner and down into the first corner or up that upward curve and then on that long back straight, I've got a funny feeling Hunt's going to do this. I'm not going to lie. There's nothing against Newman. I just think Hunt is looking quick at the moment. He's using that draft in all the right places to try and get as close as he can. He's using it again now. Is he going to ride that run down into turn 1? You can see in the background Martin Sampson, John Sylvester. Newman goes over a little bit to the left. He's going to send Hunt around the outside. Griffiths is in the background there fighting with PVG and E1 Bramer, I believe, as well as Hunt goes up the inside. Is he going to try? Williams is going to, Newman's going to have the inside for Williams, and once more on that run up through the Moss S and down into Atwood, it is still going to be Newman, but I've got a funny feeling here, Zach, this is going to last no longer than the hairpin.
I don't know. We'll wait and find out. Backing off ever so slightly. Dan Hunt not really too interested in going for it through Atwood. Very wide from Newman, it must be said. It does give him sort of a good opportunity to keep the revs up and put the power down. Dan Hunt with a slightly shorter line on the inside means he closes the gap, but might not have the same momentum. Ducking and diving, trying to find the inside. A little bit too much chewed off there from Dan Hunt, who once again looks to the left-hand side. Pete Newman once again is going to have to be brave on the brakes. Got a bit of lap traffic to contend with soon as well. Outside line for Daniel Hunt. He's a little bit later on the brakes this time. Has the agility of that MX5 got the measure to give him the inside for the next left? The answer to that is no. Pete Newman stays ahead with, once again, a very, very well-crafted defence.
Yeah, he definitely did there. It didn't help as well, but Hunt got a little bit squirrely coming out of the hairpin there. Roger Morton has got Steve Hefford right out alongside. Hefford's going to go up the inside now. Job done for Mr. Hefford. He's now up into 13th. Morton's going to be looking at trying to come down that cut back down into Revolver. Not going to get it done. Is he going to be able to get around Piper? He's not either. So it looks like Morton is stuck there currently behind Steve Hefford. Newman still battling away with Hunt in front. Sampson in third. He is in with Johns. He's in with actually John Sylvester is right behind him. And then you've got Jamie Ayres, Tom Griffiths and E1 Bramer. Pete Van Gaal coming onto the back of them. As you see Pete in the background slowly dropping off Miles Owens, and then Darren McLean is fighting away with Jordan Syritt here. This is a pro-and-am. Syritt doesn't really need to get involved in this. He's lost the lead to Darrell Wright in the AMs, and Darrell Wright has led the AMs now, and Syritt really is kind of stuck between a rock and a hard place here. Does he fight Darren McLean? Does he allow McLean go? Is Hefford going to come through as well? Hefford's pulled out. McLean's pulled out. Hefford's tucked back in again. McLean's going to go up the inside. Hefford's going to go up the inside again. And Jordan Syritt just says, okay, boys, off you go.
Yeah, you do you, I think, is the consensus. Jordan Syritt didn't score any points last time at Moss Sport. He's all the way down at the back end of the AM Championship. So he wants to try and maximise his point, but also get some onto the board. Deja vu from the last 2 laps, now the third. Is it going to be third time's the chance for Daniel Hunt as he once more looks to the outside? He's not quite got the overlap, and once again, Pete Newman is able to stay ahead, albeit still very, very close, and any mistake could be fatal as he's gone round. He's held it. Oh my word! Side by side now for the race lead. Daniel Hunt looks to the outside. Tyres are warm, and Pete Newman's round. Dan Hunt into the lead.
Oh, Newman, all on your own. Gutted. I thought he had that then. I really did think he was going to hold it, and then he just put too many beans coming out of Piper, and unfortunately he went straight round there, and now Newman all the way down in 9th place. Gutted for Pete Newman there, just lit up the tyres coming out of Revolver, got a bit loose, managed to hold it, then coming out of Piper he lit them up again, and unfortunately not second time lucky for Pete Newman. Around he went there, Zach. That was a shame.
Yeah, I did say it's a difficult corner. It's slightly downhill, slight bit of a dip on the apex as well. Very easy to unsettle the car if you're trying to like battle a car and you're flipping the weight all over the place. Tyres were all on the second one, and around he went. It's so easy for him to do. And with the pressure, Dan Hunt did a fantastic job of being there and giving him that pressure to crack under. But yeah, it's been a difficult race, and unfortunate for Pete Newman there, because again, it's a small mistake, but it has now given Dan Hunt the win and taken it away from Pete Newman, because up until that point, great racing and a bulletproof defence.
And a slight little hint of smugness coming through from Mr. Sweeney there.
No, I'm gutted. I'm gutted.
Yeah, right. Sylvester on a defence from Sampson. Griffiths is going to be free wide with Ayres. PVG is also in the background. Dan Lewis is like, nope, definitely not. Carry on, boys. And it's Ayres and Griffiths coming into the hairpin. PVG trying to go around the outside of Ewan Bramer. Both of them here, his Dutch counterpart, flying along nicely. PVG tries to slot it in round Revolver and keeping an eye on the leader. And we will see Dan Hunt come across the line to take this victory here as well, which is going up now into Hobbs. Oh, Bramer's in the wall.
Oh, that's a big one.
What's that PVG again?
If it was, I don't know, was it?
I don't know, we ain't got long to have a look, so we're going to have to see.
I'm going to go with yes.
No, yes, kind of.
Yes.
Right, nearly. Dan Hunt is going to come over the line and take the victory there as well. John Sylvester is going to come across the line in second, just from Sampson. So Martin Sampson doing a stellar job and finishing third overall. Behind that one, we've got PVG, Tom Griffiths. PVG comes over the line in sixth there. I'm sure there's going to be a discussion about that at some point. But unfortunately for Ewan Bramer, there went in, and that was it. Darrell Wright is going to come across over the line to lead the AMS with Roger Morton taking second place there this evening. Well done to you, Mr. Morton. And then we've got Jordan Syret get third. So stunning job there for these guys. And Arnold Chonier, Charles Kellerman, and then we're just waiting for Mr. Sir Alan Toon. Okay, well, that makes it 1-1, Mr. Sweeney.
It does. It also makes it 2-1 for the whole season, because you only beat me once at Motorsport.
Yes, I did. So it's only 2-1 overall. Well, going into race 4 now then, sir. I don't know the reverse grid, so I can't tell you what it will be. So pick your poison. You are not allowed Dan Hunt, Pete Newman, or John Sylvester.
Oh, they're the three that I tipped to win the championship. So it is I'm just trying to looking at the names. Griffiths obviously does shout out to me ever so slightly. He's not been on the pace so much. Of course, he did win race 2. Mm-hmm. He's not really been on it 100%. But then again, just looking at the names, and there's no one else really that just is in my face with it. So I don't know. It might be one of the SOB boys. It might be Ewan Bramer, Miles Owens, or I don't know. It's a tricky one. I can't have Sylvester. I'm not allowed Sylvester. I know. Do you know what? I'm just gonna go with Griffiths, and we'll see how it goes.
Okay. Right. So I'm not allowed Newman. I'm not allowed Griffiths, and I'm not allowed PVG. Jamie Ayres.
Good shout, I suppose.
Don't know the reverse grid. Not got a Scooby-Doo. I'm going to go with Jamie Ayres. So there we go. So let us know who you think you want to get involved with and who you think is going to take the victory in race 4. We have no idea what a reverse grid is. It's a complete surprise. Any links to this league should be down in the description below, Mr. Pearson. If I'm not mistaken, I believe there is a Discord link down there as well. UkSimracers website, and you can find the Discord link on their website. Head over to www.uksimracers.co.uk, and then you can get there and get yourself involved in that one. It'd be great to have you on a Tuesday evening, Mr. Pearson. As long as we don't hear the Pearson tornado, of course, with Stuart Pearson, who I've known now for a good 18 months plus there as well for Stuart Pearson.
Long time. You going to get each other flowers, or?
Oh, no, I don't think we're quite at our anniversary yet. I think where we are at the moment, we're in June. Possibly July might be the anniversary, so maybe me and Stuart need to be...
So romantic.
Yeah, I know, we might have to set a day, and I might have to get him a ring and pop the question. And
Oh, only 2 years in. Look at you.
know, well, just sometimes when you just know, young Zach, does it? It strikes you down, and
I
that's
really
it.
hope your wife isn't stood outside your office door at the moment, just listening in.
No.
What is he going on about?
No, I don't think so. Possibly. Might be around the corner, to be honest. There we go. But she'll probably ask where hers is. So, hey, what can you say?
Her flowers or a ring?
A ring, probably. To be fair.
She put it on the side.
I put it
on the side and forgot about it.
Yeah, I put it on a cupcake.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. Well, what more could you ask for? Right. Well, we've got a long to go in practice here, and 6 minutes remaining. Some cars coming out on track currently at the moment. So this is going to be an exciting one for race 4. Zach has got Tom Griffiths. I have got Jamie Ayres. Final of the season. I'm winning 2-1 as we go into race 4. Yeah. Do you know the thing is, the fact that we've had nearly 8 races and we've only scored 3 points between us just goes to show how bad we are actually at picking winners.
Yeah, the people we choose need to step it up.
Yeah, I don't know if that's the case.
No, because we pick the people. We have good mythology. Wait, no, not mythology. Methodology. That's the one I'm trying to go for.
Big word for you at this time of night. You're all right.
It is. It's honestly, mate. I don't know what's wrong with me. I've just switched on. But yeah, we've got good theory behind our predictions. It just never works out. I don't know whether that speaks more about us or them with how close and competitive this grid is, or whether we're just not good. I don't know.
Yeah, I would probably say don't ask us to put money on the Grand National for you. I don't think we would do too well.
We probably wouldn't know. But then again, all betting is
it's
sketchy.
It's a hit or miss, isn't it? Let's be real, if you're going to get it at all. What will your wife say, James? Well, I think I heard her scream, but that was about
probably
it.
Say fantastic. See you in a couple of days.
Yeah, probably.
Give her a couple of days off.
Yeah, possibly. I'm not entirely sure. I'll find out if I walk around the corner and be quilt and pillows on the sofa when I feel. Let's be honest. And if that's the case, then I know I've definitely done something wrong. But up and under we go as we move on as well. Totally diverting away from racing. What would your missus say?
What if? Yeah, I don't know. She'd probably just say, all right, off we go.
Does your partner watch your races? Has she ever watched you commentate?
She has, yeah. I don't know whether or not to take it as a compliment or not, but she used to use them to fall asleep. Which she was like, yeah, no, I watch them all the time. It helps me relax and fall asleep. I was like, I don't know whether that's a compliment or not.
No.
Because it's like, thank you for that. I've got a nice soothing voice, but also I'm getting excited and it's putting you to sleep. So, yeah.
Yeah, I would say that as a compliment, to be fair. I've got.
But she's always, sometimes she's just sat and listened, read a book while I'm commentating. She's just chill.
No, I don't think I would take that as a compliment, mate, to be honest.
It's fine.
I'm not entirely sure. The problem is, for obviously my business, is she's normally in the living room and can hear me through the office wall. Obviously we're living together, so it's a bit of a different story. I don't think she's ever watched a race back, to be honest.
Well, she came into that MX5s at Silverstone at one point just to check in on us while you were doing your thing. And
yeah, that was why I was in Spain though. Because that's partly because I picked up my phone. She went, "Are they live?" I went, "Yeah." She went, "Don't even think about it. I'll look." I went, "All right, dear." So she come in and yeah, gave you all a little bit of a hello just to make sure you're all aware that she's paying attention.
we found it hilarious.
Yeah.
We saw JPBroadcasting in the chat, and I was like, "Hang on, what's James doing?" And then it was signed off Lisa, and I was like, "Yeah, there we go. Yeah, he's been
demoted." It definitely
she's
was
taken
not.
over.
Yes. But hey, I didn't mind. I got a week off. It was nice. Not going to complain at all, to be honest. But there we go. 2.5 minutes left of practice as Zach swallowed a thesaurus. Zach has. Why are you referring to yourself in the third person? I never understand that.
Because
You make me. You sound like, remind me of that Dobby out of Blinking Harry Potter. Dobby is here to protect Harry Potter.
Right, yeah, that's exactly how Dobby sounded.
Well, I don't know if he's. I'm not going to say he sounds like that, is I? I can't do a Dobby voice.
Has a sock. I can't either. I won't even.
Go on.
But the reason I did it is because I could then emphasise the H.
Oh, okay. Right.
Correct the spelling.
Here we go for the grid for the final race of this evening. Thank you so much for listening to me and Zach just waffle then. Roger Morton out in front, Darren McLean second, Steve Hefford third, Darrell Wright fourth, Pete Newman fifth, Miles Owen sixth, PVG seventh, Tom Griffiths in eighth, Jamie Ayres ninth, Martin Sampson 10th, John Sylvester 11th, Dan Hunt down in 12th place. So top 12 reverse, Jordan Syrett, Dale Bennison, Ralph Cullinan, Arnold Chagnon, Charles Kellerman, Sir Alan Toon, Ewan Bramer, Dan Lewis, Jason Huntington and Steve Hansford at the back of the grid. The lights are going to be coming in. It is Morton on pole. Can he hold it better than he did in the Clio Cup last night for the JBB? He got off the line, he wheels spun it up, and unfortunately for Morton, he's already down into third place. And Roger Morton did not have a good start there once more, and unfortunately for him, he goes down the... Oh, whoa! Darren McLean? What was that?
A rocket ship, it seems. A bullet? I don't know.
What was happening there? We just followed this battle through here, Zach, but that was crazy. He just went left.
I don't know what happened. Yeah, at some point, either maybe his steering wheel failed and his steering wheel was just stuck left. Too wide, too deep, by the way, through Atwood Curve as they rise up and over the crest. A good little fight here materialising. Tom Griffiths trying to carve his way through the field. Jamie Ayres making some good progress as he's on the back of Darrell Wright. No idea what's happened off the start, but it has resulted in some pretty chaotic runs into the hairpin for the first time. Newman looking to the inside of Roger Morton as well as Jamie Ayres goes up the inside of Darrell Wright. You can see also Miles Owens trying to pick his way through in the white and black SOB Racing MX5. Also Tom Griffiths, that blue, white and yellow MX5, just trying to pick his way through all the carnage and chaos as Darrell Wright, he's tagged him and oh no!
Griffiths is off. Griffiths is off.
Oh my god, the false pity is radiating.
Is this coming out of it? Oh no, Wright's off. Oh!
Doink. He's not going to be very happy. That's not the right thing to do. That's all.
Is that because your man's off the track now?
That's because it was a silly move, but I can sort of sympathise with Darrell Wright in that regard because he's just not got control of his car at that point. Tom Griffiths was just in the wrong place at the wrong time, unfortunately. What it does mean is Jamie Ayres is up into third. Good news is he's got Pete Newman to get past, so I'm not too worried.
Really? Not even a little bit with the draft?
Well, Newman is flying, and Roger Morton trying to go the inside line versus Miles Owens, who dips away into the gravel. Yeah, I don't know. We'll see. Jamie Ayres, he's going to have a good go, but Newman's also got the draft of Hefford, and now we're maybe 3 wide going into the Atwood Curve. There's Miles Owens, very late on the brakes, and oh my word, he's gone round, and it's a pile up. Oh, more contact there, Hunt involved.
Morton and Owens. I'm not going to lie there. Hunt's off. Hunt's gone. That looks sloppy. I'm not going to lie. Sorry, Mr. Owens. I got a lot of time. But I think this is a late lunge here. Yes. A door was always closed in there. He was never going to make that. Oh, who was that?
That was
John Sylvester.
Benison has gone around as well. Oh no, he hasn't. Sorry. I keep thinking people tumble. As soon as I see a position change, I think someone's had enough. It's just scary, isn't it? There's so much carnage happening here at Okayama.
It's a shock because Zach has no idea. I don't know what happened to Darren McLean. I've got to be honest, he's back on track. I want to try and see what happened to him, to be fair, because he just went off directly left like an absolute rocket. Did he get tapped from Hepburn, or was there must have been net coats for that to happen? No, he was getting loose and the car snapped the other way.
Yeah, it was a snap back. Well, people just, I don't know, maybe it's just that race 4 thing where people just, I don't want to say lose the ability to drive because they haven't lost the ability to drive. More so just increase their capacity for silly mistakes. It's just small things that cement themselves to big mistakes, particularly at a track like Okayama. This fight here, though, Miles Owens on the inside, the Irishman of Cullinan going to the long way round through outward curve. He's got the up and under, he's got the later apex. Miles Owens chops off his nose, but Cullinan should, in theory, have a good little look now into the hairpin.
Yeah, he's got PPG in front of him. I don't think he's going to be able to pick up anything there. Cullinan and Owens side by side. 9A6 is Owens. The 32 of Cullinan has already been involved in an incident. You see the dent in there, and then behind him, you've got Dale Benison with John Sylvester running around the outside. Charles Kellerman's trying to stick his nose in once more here as well. Miles Owens manages to stay in front of Cullinan. Cullinan was never going to make it through there as well. Pete Newman's coming into the back of Hefford. They're dropping Jamie Ayres ever so slightly. Ayres is getting a gap out, down to below a second. Then unfortunately it looks like through Piper, and on that run into Redmond, he seems to be losing a little bit of time here. He could really do help from Steve Hefford backing Newman up to get Ayres onto the back there. Do you think that's going to be a possibility with Hefford maybe just being a little bit later in corners?
Maybe so. I think that might just be the case, in all honesty. Purple lap though from Pete Newman. The pace definitely is in the hands of the 118. These guys, they're giving us heart attacks, James, I'll be honest. Yeah. Oh my word, over the curb. I honestly thought he was losing that as well. I'll be completely honest. He was perfectly safe, but over the curb, and I just saw straight away what could happen. Fortunately, Hefford's kept a hold of it. This race is bonkers, I'll be honest. Yeah, it's just, I don't know, they're just keeping us on the edge of our seats here, trying to scare us.
I'm surprised he didn't back him up in Atwood, I'm not going to lie. He's going to hug that line. He's going to defend like an absolute trooper. Newman's going to have to go the long way. That's opened the door up for Newman now, unfortunately, for Ayres to follow Hefford. If Ayres can get in there, Hefford's going to try and send it and still keep the position. It's a battle of the late breakers. Oh, Hefford does make it there, but Newman has now got Ayres right behind him. This is going to be an interesting freeway here over the last 8 minutes. And I think Ayres could be on for a great opportunity there, because we know, Hefford, get off the grass. We know Hefford doesn't want to get involved in this because, as he said, this is going to be his last race of the season, unfortunately. Good, massive, big shout out. Good luck to Steve. Hope everything goes well there with the operation. Ayres and Newman fighting out. So I don't think Hefford, if Ayres gets through, I don't think Hefford's going to hold this up. I'm not going to lie.
Yeah, he's not too keen on obviously impacting the championship, but also you want to end it off on a win. You want to end it off on a high. You don't want to leave anything on the table, but I suppose if he isn't taking part in the championship, he might as well allow his teammate to take the reins, score as many points as possible, stay in the championship fight. But then again, it's the gap between first and third in a 48 race season. Is it really going to make that much of a difference? As Steve Hefford drifting his way through turn 1, his tyres are going to be screaming for help. I'll be honest, I hope Hefford just holds his own here, I'll be honest. I want him to fight for this, because he's only got half the race left to go. He's got a good shout at it. If Ayres wants to win, he's got to go and take it off Hefford's hands.
Yeah, he definitely has here as well. Looks like Morton and Syrat are having an interesting battle further down here as well. Morton on the right, Syrat on the left. Morton's trying to stay up and get past Syrat as he's following McLean and goes down there as well. The gap up front, Newman and Hefford are side by side. Hefford's trying to get the side draft, running down into the hairpin. Is he going to be last on the late breakers? He cannot allow Newman through. He's not. He's going to get on the brakes late. He's going to go round the hairpin. He's almost sliding it round the hairpin. Ayres is going to have a go round Revolver. They're going to run too wide here. Round Piper they go. Is Ayres going to be able to hold on? No, Newman takes it back and Hefford clears off about 9 tenths up the road. We've got a fast lap from E1 Bramer. Ayres is having a go now, going into Redmond. It is going to be Ayres on the inside. Newman just leaves him enough room. Is he going to be able to get through now on the outside of Hobbs? It's not, but Newman and Ayres still battling away here, and that's given Hefford a 1.2 second gap so far, Zach.
Yeah, it's going to be a crucial one indeed to have, because the slipstream is so powerful. So much so that if Newman starts to lose it on Hefford, Ayres is basically just has Newman for free at this point because of how strong that slipstream is. Newman is, really put himself in a vulnerable situation. He's got to nail turn 1 and 2 in this sector, get onto the back of Hefford, not necessarily get onto the back of him, just get back into slipstream range, just to keep him in contention. Otherwise, he runs the risk of Ayres putting some pressure on, and that is going to be the last thing Pete Newman wants if he wants to win this race. We'll wait and see as to exactly what happens, because we still have got about 5 minutes and 40 odd seconds left. So, yeah, bring it on. I think this is going to be a fantastic battle, and Newman has done it. He's back within a second. It's flirting on the edge.
Yeah, it definitely is. Ayres takes the inside line there, tries to run around that wood a bit tighter than he has done for the whole race. He's now going to be pulling in that draft from Pete Newman once again. The times are going to be coming down. They're plunging down to Ayres and Newman and Hefford as they're coming down once more into the hairpin. 5 minutes on the clock remaining, and Newman is slowly edging up to Mr. Ayres here as well. Miles Owens has got John Sylvester and Ralph Cullinan for company once more. Cullinan and Owens has not been apart for the whole entire race 4. Cullinan looks like he's going to have their run now. He does, out the hairpin, and he is through. Darren McLean fighting it out as well. Slight little contact from Miles Owens onto the back end of Ralph Cullinan. Ralph's going to be like the episode out of Days of Thunder, where he just boots the side panel, telling us the only door he hasn't knocked, to be fair, throughout the whole race. As you can see on Cullinan's car, he has got damage on the nose. He's probably going to have some on the back of the bumper by the time Owens is finished with him, giving him gentle little nudges every here and there. But the gap up front still tense at the moment, but Cullinan still fighting away with Owens here, and they haven't been apart for the entire race 4 here, Zach.
Indeed so. So, well, I'm looking forward to seeing this one conclude, to be fair. So, it's been fantastic battling all the way through the evening, and, well, now we've got 4 and a bit minutes left to enjoy what we've been given. Miles Owens once again looking to the inside of turn 1. Cullinan shuts the door. Again, turn 1 just isn't a good place to go for a move. It's too fast, and if you do go for a move, you're just not doing yourselves any favours, because you go for the move, you ruin your momentum, and then you're under pressure from behind. Here is where Griffiths has made his way back up to, as Owens and Sylvester go side by side as they jostle for 6th. Griffiths has worked his way back up to 10th, which I suppose is a lot higher than he would have hoped to be in the initial moments of this race. Now, Newman can't even see him.
Yeah, Newman is there. He is there. There he is. He pulls out now. Ayres is getting dropped. Just hasn't got the pace, I don't think, of these two up front. He just cannot pull up close enough, and when he is close enough, Newman just seems to turn around and open up the door again. It's so tough, but Ayres at the moment, he's got to try and get involved in it, but he just doesn't seem to have the pace. He just can't seem to be there long enough. I'm surprised Hefford isn't taking the hairpin exceptionally slow and parking it almost in front of Newman to bring Ayres in. We know how good their teamwork is here, but there just doesn't seem to that from Hefford that I would have expected, to be honest.
No, yeah. Newman does need to get a bit of a hurry on, but Hefford is, hanging on well pace-wise, it must be said. I mean, could be better, could be worse. He is making a couple of silly mistakes, and that is keeping Newman in touch. In terms of fastest lap times, I was about to say that actually, they're not actually that close. They're about nearly 6 tenths apart between the two of them. So Newman definitely has got the advantage, and might well be the case into turn 2, as Hefford stays ahead for now. He is under a lot of trouble, though. I will be 100% honest. I think Pete Newman is going to get this race. I don't think Hefford has got enough to keep him behind.
Yeah, I don't think so either, and that's to say no disrespect to Steve Hefford. I just think he's got to get over to the right hand side of this circuit, and he's got to get over there sharpish. He's got to hug that white line He does get it done. He hugs the white line. Ez is trying to pull in, but he's not even in draft range. He's not even making a difference. Newman's taking it again, but Hefford's going to send it in hot here. And that is going to allow him once more to retake the lead from Pete Newman. Can he hang on for one more lap? But that's going to be the question here, Zach. And if he can, he would have done an absolute stellar job. I'm afraid that he's going to, obviously where he said I'm not really wanting to get involved in the fight, whether or not he's just going to move over on the final lap, do we think?
Nah, surely not. I wouldn't want him to. That'd be silly. He goes a little bit wide through the hairpin, and it gives the outside line for Newman going into the next one. In the overarching advantage, it might swing the way of the pure Simmers driver because Hefford's going to be delayed on the power. Newman's going to be earlier on it. It's not going to make much of a difference though, because into the final two corners, not really much that Newman can do. Now to start the final lap of this race, of this evening, and of round 2. Well, we'll see what happens because Hefford is moving over to the right-hand side. Newman sees it coming, so very quickly darts one way, then darts the other. Now to the left-hand side going into turn number 1. He's got to be brave on the brakes. This is what he did to Dan Hunt earlier on in the evening, and it didn't quite work out then. So I'm not sure it's going to work out now. Up and under through turn 1 into 2. Hefford is making sure that he uses all of the space and keeps Newman behind if possible.
Yeah, definitely need a new nose for Pete Newman there. He definitely almost lost it with Steve Hefford. That was a frightening move from Hefford. As he come out of turn 1, he went straight across the nose of Pete Newman. Newman's taking that very wide line. Is he taking it too wide? Is that going to allow Hefford to get the jump? Is he going to be able to get through here? Is he going to be able to get through? Is he going to get on it? He's left the door open. Is Newman going to take the run? Is this going to be job done and dusted? Oh no, Hefford hangs on there, Zach.
Yeah, he does. But he's got about still half a lap left to go in order to hang on to it. So Newman, with each corner that goes by, is one opportunity less. He's going to need a mistake, a little bit wide from Hefford. That might well allow Newman to maybe have a little bit of a look. He's got, what, 2 corners really. This is one of them that he can go for a move. The next one is right after it. Hefford is in a little bit deep. He brings it over to the left-hand side. I'll be honest, yeah, I don't think Newman is. He's got this as sideways goes Jamie Ayres. This is Hefford's race to win.
Yeah, it definitely is. They're going to be coming off the final corner now. And in the pros, it is going to be Steve Hefford. Hefford's going to take this victory. Is he going to take it? Is he going to move over? Is he going to take it? He is going to take it there from Newman. And it is Steve Hefford with Ayres in third. In the AMS, Roger Morton is looking like he's going to come away from the victory, his first victory of the evening. Arnaud Chandonnier there started with a bang in race 1 and race 2, and unfortunately race 3 and 4 have not gone his way, but he takes a third place in race 4 for Chandonnier. Oh, well, that's one way of doing it, I guess.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, wow, that's another way of doing it. That's interesting.
Yeah. Let's go on to Daniel Lewis, who's still got all of his parts currently.
For now.
For now.
We'll see. We'll see. He comes across the line. Is he going to do his mechanic some favours? Yeah, I think he's all good.
What, just leave it as... Was he going to pick that bumper up and put it on his... No. The bumper just goes straight for Steve Hansford coming over the line. And then last on the list will be Sir Alan Toon. So... let's see how Alan Toon goes through, and there is Mr. Toon at the back end there, and a stellar job from him. Coming over in 20th place, that is the final race of this evening, and one that we can safely say was an exciting one, as race 4 is normally. But here are the results. Steve Hefford is your victor. Pete Newman in second. Jamie Ayres third. Pete Van Gool in fourth. Miles Owens fifth. John Sylvester sixth. Ralph Cullinan seventh. Charles Kellerman eighth. Tom Griffiths ninth. Roger Morton 10th. Jordan Syra 11th. Arnold Chandonnier 12th. Darrell Wright 13th. Darrell McLean 14th. Martin Sampson 15th. Dale Bennison 16th. Dan Lewis in 17th. And Ewan Bramer in 18th, with Steve Hansford, Sir Alan Toon, Jason Haddington and Dan Hunt there as well. So, well, Zach, I think we've seen 4 epic races here at Okayama, and an absolutely stellar job from these guys.
Yeah, it didn't disappoint at all. Obviously, some people, Okayama isn't their favourite circuit in the world. They think it's, whatever it is. They don't have very good opinions on it. It's very easy to overlook and be a circuit they don't really give much thought to. Fantastic venue, fast flowing, late braking zones, and a very high dependence on slipstream. And it's delivered such good racing here today. Unfortunately, it didn't go my way in terms of the predictions, but, well, I predicted good racing and we got it. So what more can you ask for?
Yeah, and that does take me to a 2-1 lead. Going into the next round, of course. Thank you so much for joining us for this one. We have got the BSC NASCAR coming up from Michigan at 12:45 in the morning. So if you are around about then and you want to get yourself in, come and have a look at how these guys from the BSC handle the NASCAR, I think you will be pleasantly surprised. But here for the UK SimRacers, though, we are off to Long Beach for round 3 next week. But don't forget, guys, if you are here for the first time, like, subscribe, turn on the bells, because we've got a lot of action coming up on the JPB YouTube channel. But for now, guys, from myself and Mr. Zach Sweeney up in the booth, as always, take care, have a great week, and you never know, we might see you on the track sometime. Good night.